It is such a pleasure to join my two colleagues at today's press conference and to talk to you all. Yesterday morning, we had the privilege of hearing in person at the Great Hall of the People the important report delivered by General Secretary Xi Jinping at the opening of the 20th CPC National Congress. The report delivered by General Secretary Xi reviewed the work of the past 5 years and the great changes in the first decade of the new era. He outlined the party's mission and task on the new journey in the new era and major policies and guidelines for advancing the course of the party and the country. And economic work features prominently in the work. Having participated in, witnessed, and engaged in economic work in the new era, we are keenly aware that since the 18th National Congress, our party has overcome many long-running and outstanding difficulties and secured many accomplishments of long-term significance, enabling historical achievements and changes in China's economic and social development. Numbers speak louder than words. From 2012 to 2021, China's GDP grew from 53.9 trillion yuan to 114.4 trillion yuan. It now accounts for 18.5% of the world economy, up from 11.3%, an increase of 7.2 percentage points. China's per capita GDP increased from $6,300 to $12,551, both doubling from 10 years ago. And there are many such vivid examples and statistics, and we have discussed a lot of that at the press conferences marking over the past 10 decades of our progress. As the saying goes, one doesn't know how hard an undertaking is until he tries it himself. These extraordinary achievements in China's economic development were made amid a grim and complex international situation with various risks and challenges constantly emerging. And these are indeed hard-won gains. And in our actual work, we can see that such gains would not have been possible without the stewardship of General Secretary Xi and the Xi Jinping thought on socialism with Chinese characteristics. Practice of a theory is an ever-ending process, so is theoretical innovation. Xi Jinping thought on economy observes, approaches, and leads the time with Marxism. In adapting to new circumstances, solving new problems, and tackling new challenges, he has gradually produced a series of innovative theoretical outcomes that reflect the features of the time, making important contributions to enriching the Marxist theory of political economy. Xi Jinping thought on economy produced a number of innovative concepts, including the important theoretical view of strengthening the party's overall leadership of economic work, the idea of people-centered development, the new development philosophy featuring innovative, coordinated, green, open, and shared development. The major conclusion that our economy has moved from high-speed growth to the stage of high-quality development. The important thought of improving the socialist market economy, the major policy of supply-side structural reform, the major strategy of creating a new development pattern, and the important thought of promoting the sound development of economic globalization. In economic work and in the work we are doing on a daily basis, it is inevitable that we would come across various difficulties, problems, risks, and challenges. For example, in the economic work, we would come across such problems as how to ensure the security of food, energy, and resources, and important industrial and supply chains for our country. For example, we would also need to consider how to promote high-quality development and deepen economic reform. All these are very specific tasks and challenges. There are also issues about investment, consumption, and consumer prices. And about how to actively yet prudently approach the system, policy, and specific steps needed to achieve carbon peaking and carbon neutrality. And all kinds of problems and challenges would come up in this process. As we try to address the development challenges, we always bear in mind what the Secretary General emphasized, that the people's aspiration for a better life is what we are striving for. Through various opportunities, we have conducted extensive studies to understand the people's aspirations and demands, and hear their suggestions. And we always look for answers in the direction identified in the important remarks, statements, and instructions of General Secretary Xi Jinping. It is exactly because we have had such experience from our work, and it is exactly because of our exploration in actual work, we deeply appreciate Xi Jinping's thought on economy, which has pointed the way and provided the fundamental guidance for us to ensure sound economic work in the new era, solve development difficulties, boost development momentum, and build up development advantages. China has successfully attained the first centenary goal and is embarking on the new journey towards the second centenary goal. With greater confidence and capacity, we are closer than ever before to achieving the great rejuvenation of the Chinese nation. Our world, our times, and history are changing in ways like never before. And we are faced with new strategic opportunities, new strategic tasks, new strategic stage, new strategic requirements, and new strategic environment for China's development. And we are even more confident under the current circumstances because we have the strong leadership of the CPC Central Committee with Comrade Xi Jinping at its core, the institutional advantage of socialism with Chinese characteristics that makes great accomplishments possible by pooling strengths. We also have the material foundation laid by economic and social development since the 18th Party Congress, especially the reform and opening up. And we have the tremendous momentum generated by the whole party, the military, and all the Chinese people working as one. Therefore, we have the confidence, determination, basis, and conditions to realize the strategic goal set by General Secretary Xi Jinping in yesterday's report to advance the national rejuvenation on all fronts through a Chinese path to modernization. On this new journey, we will rally even more closely around the CPC Central Committee with Comrade Xi at its core, appreciate the decisive significance of the two establishments, strengthen the four consciousness, reinforce the four sphere confidence, and ensure the two upholds. We will seize the crucial period as efforts towards a modern socialist country get started. Focus on the imbalances and inadequacies in development. Fix the shortfalls, shore up the weak links, and cement and play to our strengths. We will uphold the general principle of seeking progress while maintaining stability, fully and faithfully apply the new development philosophy in all respects, move faster towards a new development pattern, promote high-quality development, and make new and greater contributions through our concrete efforts to fully building a modern socialist country and advancing the great rejuvenation of the Chinese nation on all fronts. I'll stop here and open the floor for questions. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chen, for your briefing. We will now open the floor for questions, and please identify your media outlet before raising the question. The press conference is conducted in simultaneous interpretation. If a question is asked in English, it will be translated into Chinese consecutively.
第一排，右手第二位这位记者。对，中区第一排。对。
谢谢主持人。农民日。
Thank you. With Farmers Daily. Food security is among a country's most fundamental interests. General Secretary Xi Jinping has stressed on many occasions that we cannot slack off one bit on the issue of food security and must always stay alert. My question is, what is the current food security situation, and is China able to keep its food supply steady and secure? Thank you for your question. Food bears on the future of a country and the well-being of its people. Food security is an important basis for national security. Since the 18th CPC National Congress, the Party Central Committee with Comrade Xi Jinping at its core has treated it as a top priority of governance to feed our more than 1 billion people. A new vision on food security has been proposed and a strategy on national food security set. All localities and departments have worked earnestly, and the farmers and professionals working in the area have made hard efforts. Our capacity in ensuring food security has continued to grow. There are 5 points I'd like to share with you. First, our food production has continued to grow at a high level. In 2012, it stood at 600 billion kilograms for the first time and has, since 2015, remained at above 650 billion kilograms for 7 years straight. It scored a record high in 2021, reaching 682.85 billion kilograms, up 70.6 billion kilograms from 2012. Our per capita food production is 483.5 kilograms, which means that exports and abundant stock aside, our per capita food production alone has exceeded the internationally recognized food security line. Second, the basis for food production has continued to cement. Our national farmland stands at 127.87 million hectares. We have established 70.53 million hectares of functional areas for grain production and protected areas for important agricultural products. We have 60 million hectares of high-standard farmland, and the contribution rate of agricultural, scientific, and technological progress has reached 61%. The full coverage of improved varieties of food crops has been basically achieved. Third, the circulation of food is running smoothly with high efficiency. Nationwide, standard warehouses have an intact storage capacity of nearly 700 million tons, and storage conditions have generally reached world advanced levels. We have actively promoted market-oriented acquisitions featuring diverse market entities and channels and good quality and prices. We have done good work in policy-based acquisitions and guarded the red line of ensuring that food grown can be sold. The food reserve system has been further improved and effectively playing the key role of protecting the red line, stabilizing expectations, and ensuring security. Fourth, our emergency response has been strengthened. There are 6,000 emergency grain processing enterprises, 43,000 emergency supply outlets, more than 4,000 emergency storage and transportation enterprises, and more than 3,000 emergency distribution centers capable of responding to various major natural disasters and public emergencies. Fifth, the food market runs smoothly on the whole. In recent years, due to various factors, the global food market has been quite volatile. In comparison, China's food market has seen ample supply and has been running smoothly on the whole. It effectively meets the needs of the people and has played an important role for the sound and sustained development of the economy and social harmony and stability. These 5 points fully show that China's food security situation is sound, and we are able to keep Chinese people's rice bowls firmly in their own hands, so to speak, and the rice bowls contain mostly grains grown in China. Going forward, we have the foundation, condition, ability, and confidence to always maintain the initiative in securing our food security, and the path of food security with Chinese characteristics is bound to become broader and wider. Thank you.
我看后排也有很多记者举手，我们给后排记者一个机会吧。西区，这是倒数第3排，右手对第1位记者。
谢谢发言人，向《经济导报》
Thank you. Economic Herald of Hong Kong. Since the 18th CPC National Congress, China has rolled out a series of strategies and major measures on regional development. What are the outcomes achieved, and how will we further develop the Guangdong, Hong Kong, Macau Greater Bay Area? Thank you for your question. I will take this question. It is a very important one. Since the 18th National Congress of the Communist Party of China, General Secretary Xi Jinping has personally planned, deployed, and promoted the coordinated development of Beijing, Tianjin, Hebei, the development of the Yangtze River Economic Belt, the construction of the Guangdong, Hong Kong, Macau Greater Bay Area, the integrated development of the Yangtze River Delta, and the ecological protection and high-quality development of the Yellow River Basin. These are a series of major regional strategies with overall significance. The policy system that supports the development of the Western region, the revitalization of the Northeast, the rise of the Central region, and the growth of the Eastern region at the lead has been further improved, and the coordinated development among regions has achieved historic achievements and seen historic changes. To be specific, first, the major regional strategies have been advanced in an orderly manner. The top-level design for coordinated development of Beijing, Tianjin, Hebei has been completed, and work is progressing smoothly on all fronts. Beijing's non-capital functions are being eased at an orderly manner. The cumulative investment in the Xiong'an new area has exceeded 400 billion yuan, and annual investment in Beijing's Municipal Administrative Center has exceeded 100 billion yuan. The Yangtze River Economic Belt has seen joint efforts for protection and avoidance of large-scale development. The rectification of outstanding ecological environmental problems has been accelerated, and the share of good water quality has increased to 92.8%. The integrated development of the Yangtze River Delta is showing bright prospects. The construction of a collaborative innovation industry system led by the integration of science and technology industries has made remarkable achievements. Construction of major open platforms is progressing smoothly. And new progress has been made in green co-insurance. Public service has become significantly more convenient and accessible. The 1+N+X system for ecological protection and high-quality development in the Yellow River Basin has been built at a faster pace. The outline for this plan has been issued and is being implemented. And water resources are being conserved and utilized at higher standards. Second, the relative gap among regions in terms of development has continued to narrow. The economic growth rate of the central and western regions has been higher than that of eastern region for many years straight, and the central and western regions' share of national GDP have increased from 21.3% and 19.6% in 2012 to 22% and 21.1% in 2021. The economic development of northeast China has gradually stabilized, and structural adjustment has been steadily advanced. In recent years, the three northeastern provinces have accounted for more than 1/5 of the country's total grain output, with around 1/4 of the country's commodity grain volume and 1/3 of the grain transfer volume. Their status as China's big granaries have continued to strengthen. Third, revitalization and development of special areas have been achieved. The 832 poverty-stricken counties and 128,000 poverty-stricken villages have all been lifted out of poverty. The per capita GDP of 20 key cities in old revolutionary base areas has exceeded 60,000 yuan, and the resource output rate of resource-intensive cities has increased by more than 36%. In the border areas, they are seeing higher levels of prosperity, stability, and development. This is about the major strategies and coordinated development of regions. As for the Guangdong, Hong Kong, Macau, Greater Bay Area that you mentioned, over the past 5 years, the construction of the Greater Bay Area has achieved remarkable results. We have the 1+N policy system, which has been gradually built and improved. Major cooperation platforms such as Hengqin, Qianhai, Nansha, and Hetao have been advanced. The construction of an international science and technology innovation center has steadily moved forward, and the building of a modern industrial system has been accelerated. The connectivity of infrastructure has advanced faster with higher quality, and the alignment of rules and mechanisms have continuously stepped up. A living area that is suitable for work and life is gradually taking shape. Hong Kong and Macau residents can lead their lives in the mainland with ease. And in this process, we have all along focused on supporting Hong Kong and Macau and continuously boosted the functions of central cities. Standing at a new starting point for development, we will follow the decisions and arrangements of the CPC Central Committee, focus on key areas including technological innovation, industrial synergy, and people's livelihood improvement. We will continue to be guided by the building of major cooperation platforms such as Hengqin, Qianhai, Nansha, and Hetao, accelerate the development of the Greater Bay Area International Science and Technology Innovation Center, and improve the center's framework of what we call 2 corridors and 2 points. We will promote the integrated development of the Greater Bay Area market and improve the functions of world-class airport clusters and port clusters. We will strengthen the provision of public services and make the Greater Bay Area a world-class area and an epitome of high-quality development. We will fully support Hong Kong and Macau in deeply participating in the building of the Greater Bay Area and consolidate their international competitive edge so that Hong Kong and Macau can gain broader development space and continuous momentum from the overall development of the country. Thank you.
好，我们请东区第一排左手第3位这位外国记者。
Thank you. I'm Dan Murtaugh with Bloomberg News. My question is this. How does the Chinese government plan to reduce its dependence on foreign imports of resources such as iron ore, crude oil, natural gas, and soybeans with the aim of becoming a more self-sufficient economy? Thank you.
好，请翻译一下。
谢谢。
Thank you for your question, and I will take this question you raised. Your question concerns a very important issue. That is how we approach and understand the new development pattern. The CPC has put forth the important strategy of creating the new development pattern. There have been some different perceptions and misunderstandings about the new development pattern. I then noticed that at the press conference the day before yesterday, he answered a similar question. And you asked about this issue again today. So let me take this opportunity to share with you the goals and the requirements for creating this new development pattern. Since 2020, General Secretary Xi Jinping has repeatedly made important remarks on fostering a new development pattern. He pointed out in yesterday's report that we must fully and faithfully apply the new development philosophy, continue reforms to develop the socialist market economy, promote high-level opening up, and move faster to foster a new development pattern focused on domestic economy and features positive interplay between domestic and international economic flows. Fostering a new development pattern is a major decision made based on China's changing development stage, environment, and conditions, especially the changes in our comparative advantage. It is a systemic and profound transformation and strategic planning made by the General Secretary and the Party Central Leadership, based on our immediate interests without losing sight of the long game. It holds far-reaching significance for China to achieve higher quality, more efficient, equitable, sustainable, and secure development. Now, some people, both from home and abroad, thought that by focusing on its domestic economy, China will scale back on its opening up. They even say that we want to have a self-sufficient economy. Well, that is not the right way to look at it. General Secretary Xi stressed many times that creating the new development pattern is about open interplay between domestic and international economic flows, not a closed domestic economy. In today's world, the trend of economic globalization is irreversible, and no country can pursue development behind closed doors. China has long been integrated into the world economy and the international system. Our industries are highly interconnected and interdependent with those of many other countries. The domestic and international markets have always been interdependent and mutually reinforcing. Over the 40-odd years of reform and opening up, we have made good use of both the domestic and international markets, which helped promote the market economy, enrich market supply, upgrade industrial structure, cultivate new competitive edge in the international market, and raise the comprehensive national strength of China, thus improving the quality and distribution of production factors in China and raising the efficiency and quality of the domestic economy. For quite some time, economic globalization has indeed faced headwinds and countercurrents. Some countries are trying to decouple and sever the supply chains and build small yards with high walls. But the world will never retreat to a state of mutual seclusion and division. We believe that openness and cooperation remain the historical trend, and the mutual benefits remain what people want. Just as General Secretary Xi said, the Chinese economy is an ocean. So is the world economy. And the oceans and seas in the world are all interconnected. We will always stand on the right side of history, undeterred by headwinds and countercurrents. We will continue to hold high the banner of building a community with a shared future for mankind, actively practice true multilateralism, firmly expand openness across the board, and make economic globalization more open, inclusive, balanced, and beneficial for all. Going forward, we will resolutely act on the decisions of the CPC Central Committee, keep the economy running smoothly, implement the strategy of expanding domestic demand, keep deepening reform to remove institutional obstacles, and accelerate our efforts to build new systems for a higher standard open economy, and promote smooth and interconnected domestic and international economic flows. Thank you.
好，下一个我们西区第二排左起第二位这位男记者。对。
好的，谢谢主持人。深圳卫视记者提问，我的问题关于能源安全方面。今年。
Shenzhen TV. My question is about energy security. Some localities experienced energy constraint, and which influences production and people's daily life. So the carbon peaking and carbon neutrality targets have raised higher requirements for high-quality development of energy. Under the impact of multi-factors, including constrained supply and demand of energy and changing geopolitical landscape, how can we make energy production and consumption more resilient, inclusive, and sustainable. How to ensure the bottom line of energy security? Thank you for this question. As we all know that energy security is something that bears on the economic and social development of the world, of our country, which is very important for the well-being of our people. Since the 18th CPC National Congress, under the clear guidance of the new energy security structure of revolution in 4 key areas and international cooperation of General Secretary Xi Jinping, the multi-pronged energy supply system has been gradually improved. The supply quality and efficiency have been continuously enhanced, and the self-sufficiency rate of energy has remained above 80%. We have not only withstood the severe tests of COVID-19 pandemic and major natural disasters, but also effectively dealt with the transmissive impact of volatile international energy prices on China's development, providing a solid energy guarantee for promoting high-quality economic and social development. Since China is a major producer and consumer of energy, ensuring energy security is always the primary task of our energy work. We will thoroughly understand and implement the spirit of the 20th CPC National Congress, give top priority to ensuring stability, seek progress while maintaining stability, vigorously enhance our ability of resource production to meet our needs domestically, and continue to focus on running our own affairs well. And we will mainly focus on the following 3 aspects. First, we will take solid steps to strengthen the foundation. We will continue to ensure energy security based on diversified domestic supply, give full play to the role of coal as a ballast and the basic regulatory role of electricity from coal sources, vigorously enhance oil and gas exploration and development, and strive to achieve an annual comprehensive domestic energy production capacity of 4.6 billion tons or more of standard coal by 2025. At the same time, we will further improve the coal and oil reserve system. In particular, accelerate the building of gas storage, LNG terminals, and other facilities to ensure that the energy supply maintains a reasonable elasticity margin. Second, we will make solid efforts to ensure orderly replacement. We will bear in mind our long-term development needs, build clean energy supply system including wind, photovoltaic, water, and nuclear power. We will make solid progress in major projects of hydropower and nuclear power, push forward with construction of large wind power and photovoltaic bases prioritizing desert and Gobi areas. Measures suited to local conditions will be taken to develop biomass energy, geothermal energy, and other renewable energy. We will ensure that the share of non-fossil energy consumption increases to around 20% by 2025 and 25% by 2030. Third, we will take solid steps to control risks. We will continue to strengthen the bottom-line thinking and risk awareness, promote capacity building in energy security monitoring and early warning, establish and improve the early warning mechanism for supply and demand of coal, oil and gas, and electricity. We will redouble efforts in building better infrastructure for emergency power supply and network connectivity, and enhance mutual support between regions and complementarity between different sources of energy. We will further secure energy supply for key areas and during key time periods, and enhance emergency response and disaster relief capacity to ensure energy security for people's production and daily life. Thank you.
问。好，我们中区吧，中区第2排左起第2位，这位男记者。对，是你。
谢谢主持人。
Thank you. With CCTV, national reserves are an important material basis for governance. The world today is going through profound changes unseen in a century, and instabilities and uncertainties are rising, which pose new risks and challenges to China's steady economic and social growth. Faced with the new situation, how can we build up national reserve capacity and emergency response capability befitting the status of a major country and effectively boost the ability to forestall and diffuse major risks? Thank you for your question. As a Chinese saying goes, preparedness against the unexpected is a good way of government. In recent years, the party's Central Committee, with Comrade Xi Jinping at its core, has paid close attention and given strong leadership in this regard. Our National Reserve has continued to improve, the system has become better established, and the network more refined, which helps us deal with major risks and challenges and provide a solid material basis for smooth running of the economy. On a new journey and faced with the new situation, we will continue to earnestly implement the important instructions of General Secretary Xi Jinping, balance development and security, pursue a holistic approach to national security. We will shore up weak links and play to our strengths and accelerate the building of a national reserve system befitting the status of a major country. We will continuously enhance our ability and capacity to forestall and diffuse major risks and deal with the uncertainties and instabilities of economic growth with the certainty of our reserves. There are three priorities for us. The first is to improve the institutions and mechanism for national reserve. Following the principle of government leadership, private involvement, diversification, and complementarity, we will step up the improvement of our mechanism with a focus on both the central government and local governments and on both government and enterprises. We will enhance legislation in this regard and ask that all entities earnestly assume their responsibility. We will improve the mode of reserve and take an innovative approach to the management. We will continue to improve the institution of purchase, storage, utilization, and rotation and boost the governance capacity of reserve. We will bear in mind the big picture with an emphasis on coordination between the central government and local governments to achieve optimization, collaboration, and high efficiency. Second, we will further enhance our reserve capacity with a focus on ensuring security in food, energy, industrial, and supply chains. We will earnestly implement our tasks in ensuring the reserves of key items such as food, energy, important minerals, and emergency supplies to enhance the foundation of national reserve and improve the layout so that when needed, they can be applied in a timely manner. In addition, we will step up infrastructure building with priority for comprehensive functions, networked layout, and intelligent management. We will continue to improve the infrastructure network for supplies storage and deployment. Third, we will give full play to the function and role of reserves. Bearing in mind the domestic and international situation, we will strengthen the role of strategic provision, macro regulation, and emergency response in order to better deal with major risks. Our reserve will fully play the role of ballast and stabilizer. We will give play to both effective market and proactive government and explore a better regulation system with greater precision so as to keep the prices of commodities secure and ensure the supply of primary products. Thank you.
好，我们中区第5排右手第1位男记者。对，第5排，对，是你。
谢谢我是路透社的，我就是。
With Reuters, I want to ask a question about the economic situation. As we enter the fourth quarter, the statistics show that economic recovery is still quite anemic. And it seems it would be difficult to reach the 5.5 growth target set earlier this year. And it seems that there's no sign that China will soon relax its dynamic zero-COVID policy. Many analysts project China's growth rate at around 3%. So, will the government have a more realistic analysis or assessment of growth rate? And after the 20th Party Congress, will there be more policies for stabilizing economic growth? Thank you for your question. I want to thank you for your interest in and attention to the growth trajectory of the Chinese economy. Let me share with you some of my observations. First, I believe that since the start of this year, despite some monthly fluctuations, the Chinese economy has maintained the momentum of recovery and growth. This year, especially in March, April, and July, affected by the external environment, the pandemic, and extreme weathers, and also other factors that have greater impact than our expectation, well, there are some monthly fluctuations in the Chinese economy. But with solid steps in coordinating the COVID response and economic and social development, and with the implementation of the policy package for stabilizing the economy, and with the introduction of follow-up policies, the main economic indicators, including manufacturing, services, investment, and consumption, continue to recover. On the whole, the Chinese economy has maintained a momentum of recovery. As things stand, the economy has clearly rallied in the third quarter. While globally, the Chinese economy continues to excel. China's CPI has risen moderately, and you can see what the consumer prices are like. And this stands in stark contrast to the surging inflation in other parts of the world. The job market is basically stable, and the international balance of payment enjoys basic equilibrium, and China's foreign exchange reserves have stayed at above $3 trillion. Well, taken together, all these economic indicators show that China still enjoys sound economic performance. A second observation I have is that there are indeed some difficulties and challenges in the Chinese economy, but there are more opportunities. Affected by the changing domestic and international environment, there are still a number of challenges and difficulties in the Chinese economy. But more importantly, we need to be clear-eyed that confronted with greater than expected shocks and impacts, the Chinese economy has stabilized and recovered in a relatively short period of time, demonstrating strong resilience and enormous potential. We all know that China has a population of more than 1.4 billion. We have the world's largest middle-income group and a massive market, which is our great advantage. On top of that, we have a full-fledged industrial system, a complete industrial chain, and increasingly modernized infrastructure. All these basic conditions provide enormous opportunities and a broad market space for enterprises of various types. China is now planning for large wind and solar power bases of 450 million kilowatts in desert areas. And we will upgrade projects in key areas according to standard energy efficiency levels and benchmark levels. At this stage, as you can see from news programs, that China's policy-based and development-oriented financial instruments have effectively buttressed infrastructure development in key areas. Support is being strengthened for upgrading facilities and equipment in weaker areas. And thanks to these policies and measures, recently, as we have discovered, that orders are growing quite rapidly for energy equipment, petrol equipment, mining and engineering machinery, CNC machine tools, industrial robots, and other equipments. Well, these are very encouraging news. And all these provide rare opportunities for the related upstream and downstream enterprises. Because of time limit, I can't list everything here. But my impression is that in China, which enjoys social stability and continued economic and social development, development opportunities and business opportunities in China are everywhere. So that is the second point I would like to make. And third, and most importantly, the successful 20th CPC National Congress has brought great strength and new momentum to China's economic and social development. We believe that guided by the goals set by General Secretary Xi Jinping to achieve the great national rejuvenation through a Chinese path to modernization with the thorough implementation of the directives of the 20th Party Congress, and as our efforts to coordinate COVID response with economic and social development continue to pay off, and the macro policies continue to bear fruits, the momentum of the Chinese economy stabilizing and improving will be further cemented. Thank you.
好，我们东区第3排右手第2位这位女记者。
好，谢谢主持人。From CNBC. The U.S. and European chambers of commerce in China have spoke frequently about how inability of global executives to enter the country has reduced interest in investment in China or even negatively impact such investment. Under China's new and current development plan, what is the thoughts on promoting investment in China, encouraging new projects? Thank you.
好，请翻译一下。
谢谢 CNBC 这位记者。
Thank you for your question. I will take this question. This year, the global pandemic has resurged and continued. The international situation has been complex. Given sluggish cross-border investment globally, despite challenges, China has maintained and increased the level of foreign investment attracted with rising quality. In the first 8 months of this year, the amount of foreign investment utilized reached 892.74 billion yuan, up by 16.4% year-on-year in comparable terms, among which high-tech industries utilized 33.6% more foreign investment than the same period last year. The eastern, central, and western regions registered a year-on-year increase of 14.3%, 27.6%, and 43% respectively. The industrial structure and regional distribution of foreign investment was further improved. Generally speaking, multinational enterprises are confident in investing in China and hold a positive view of the long-term prospects of the Chinese market. Now, just as I have mentioned, China's economy has transformed from the stage of high-speed growth to high-quality growth, and we face new circumstances in attracting foreign investment. According to the decision and plans of the Party Central Committee, we will work with relevant stakeholders to push ahead with high-level opening up, put in place greater incentives for foreign investors, and better use foreign investment to promote high-quality development and smoothen the domestic and international economic flows. First, we will put in place greater incentives. We will release and implement the 2022 version of Catalogue of Industries for Encouraging Foreign Investment, further expand the scope of encouraged foreign investment, and increase support for advanced manufacturing, modern services, new and high-tech, energy conservation, and environmental protection, as well as the central and western regions of northeast China, so as to provide a more enabling policy environment for foreign investors. We will focus on attracting and stabilizing foreign investment, especially in the manufacturing sector. We will make more effort to solve the major problems facing foreign invested enterprises, improve services for foreign investment across the board, and promote high-quality development of foreign investment utilization. Second, we will further promote the implementation of major foreign-funded projects. We will launch the 6th batch of such projects, provide policy support at the central government level for industrial planning, land use, environmental assessment, and energy consumption, accelerate the implementation of the projects, promptly coordinate and resolve difficulties encountered in investment, production, and operation, and ensure the smooth implementation. Third, we will provide better services for foreign-funded enterprises. Just now, you mentioned some of them, and we will more actively introduce relevant policies and measures to foreign enterprises and build investment cooperation platforms for foreign enterprises and local governments through various means. We will continue to improve the business environment and implement systems such as pre-establishment national treatment and negative list management. We will work with relevant departments and local governments to facilitate international investment exchanges and cooperation while ensuring sound COVID-19 control. In his report to the 20th National Congress of the Communist Party of China yesterday, General Secretary Xi Jinping pointed out that we will promote high-standard opening up, steadily expand institutional opening up with regard to rules, regulations, management, and standards. We're fully aware that opening up is China's basic state policy and one of its defining features. China will remain committed to further opening up at a higher level, committed to sharing development opportunities with the rest of the world, and committed to making economic globalization more open, inclusive, balanced, and beneficial to all. In the future, China's door of opening up will never be closed, but will only open wider. China's development will provide more opportunities and inject strong impetus into the region and the world. We will earnestly implement the spirit of General Secretary Xi Jinping's important speeches and instructions and continue to create a sound policy and institutional environment to create more opportunities and convenience for the development of foreign-funded enterprises. We hope that our friends from the press will help us to let more people know that we welcome foreign companies to invest and do business in China and continue to share in the dividend of China's development.
好，我们请西区第4排左手第一位这位女记者。
谢谢主持人。经济日报。
Thank you. Economic Daily. Global food, industrial, and supply chains are facing rising uncertainties. Domestically, there is a new situation facing the effective supply of grains and other important agricultural products. How can we better ensure food security in fostering a new development pattern and deal with the uncertainties in the external environment with the certainty of stable domestic production and supply? I will take this question. Thank you. General Secretary Xi Jinping has stressed on many occasions that feeding our more than 1 billion people is China's greatest national reality, and that our national food security should always be on our mind, and we should never lose our guard. The report this time has made a comprehensive assessment in this regard, asking that we guard our red line and always keep the rice bowl firmly in our hands. We will follow this arrangement and work with all local governments and departments to be ever prepared to protect against potential dangers and accelerate the building of a more efficient and sustainable national food security system of higher standards and quality. There are mainly 5 measures. First is to pursue sustainable farmland use and step up support, protection of farmland and development of farmland. We will implement the most rigorous farmland production system with forceful measures with teeth. We will guard our 120 million hectares of farmland and, in addition, develop high-standard farmland and pursue efficient water irrigation and conservation. Second, we will pursue agricultural technological innovation and enhance the technological support for the modern seed industry. We will implement the program of the vitalization of the seed industry to achieve technological self-reliance and ensure controllable sources of seeds. We will step up the R&D and application of agricultural machinery and improve the system that guards against crop diseases and pests. We will step up technological development in terms of green storage, efficient logistics, and grain and oil proceeding, and continuously inject new momentum into ensuring food security. Third, we will improve the production layout and boost the overall comprehensive capacity for production. We will improve our laws and regulations on food security and ensure the accountability of party and government. We will strictly enforce the assessment mechanism for the accountability and ensure that all areas focusing on either production or sales or both will shoulder their responsibilities together. We will step up the building of functional areas for grain production and take multi-pronged measures to ensure and boost supply to keep our annual food production at above 650 billion kilograms and develop our food sources across the board. Fourth, we will step up purchase and storage regulation and achieve a dynamic equilibrium of supply and demand. We will step up the coordination and system for supply, storage, and sales, step up the dynamic monitoring system and targeted regulation, and ensure that the food market run smoothly. We will improve the storage system, ensure a fine scale of reserve, and improve the layout. We will step up enforcement, monitoring, and guard against corruption, deepen institutional reform in order to secure our granaries for the whole country. Fifth, we will promote food conservation, reduce waste, and boost nutrition and health. We will step up whole process monitoring and promote intelligent harvesting machinery, green storage technology, moderate processing technology, and minimize losses and waste. We will hold themed activities such as World Food Day and National Food Security Publicity Week, advocate a simple, moderate, green, and low-carbon lifestyle, and create a trend of cherishing and saving food and healthy consumption. We also ask you, friends from the press, for your support. Thank you.
好，我们还是西区吧。西区第一排，右手第二位这位女记者。
谢谢主持人。新加坡。
Thank you. With 联合早报. Due to a drought in August, Sichuan, a major hydropower generating province, suffered from severe power shortages. This has raised concerns about the stability and sustainability of clean energy in China. In face of increasing extreme weather, how will China strike a balance between energy transformation and ensuring stable energy supply so as to avoid the recurrence of similar power shortages? I will take your question. In summer this year, the combination of extreme heat and drought has led to a power shortage in Sichuan, a major hydropower producing province. We have followed a people-centered approach in development and resolutely implemented the decisions and plans to ensure supply and stabilized price. We coordinated various resources and forces, ensured steady power generation at full capacity, and made full use of the strength of large power grids in interprovincial and regional distribution to ensure secure and stable supply. It is fair to say that we had done a good job. Under the new circumstances, we will focus on new tasks and requirements of energy development and earnestly implement all decisions and plans. On the one hand, we will further consolidate the foundation of conventional energy supply. On the other hand, we will vigorously develop renewable energy, actively promote green and low-carbon transformation, and strive to provide a strong energy guarantee for high-quality economic and social development. We will focus on the following 5 aspects. First, we will focus on monitoring and operation management. We will assess in advance power supply and demand in peak hours in summer and winter, and make concrete plans to ensure supply. We will put in place a daily adjustment mechanism for coal production nationwide and a mechanism for monitoring prices and inventories, and strengthen direct adjustment of output of key coal enterprises. We will urge all types of power generators to stay up and running as necessary, fully tap into the power grid's capacity for interprovincial distribution, and use market-oriented ways to encourage off-peak power consumption. Second, we will coordinate and ensure fuel supply for power generation. Through signing secure coal supply guarantee statement, policy incentives or constraints will be put in place for localities to hit their output and export targets. We will also strengthen oversight on compliance to mid- and long-term contracts of coal supply. At present, the coal storage of power plants under national management remains above 170 million tons, almost doubled year on year, and is at the highest level in history. Third, we will further build production capacity in coal and power generation. From January to August this year, China produced 2.93 billion tons of coal, up by 11% year on year. Since the beginning of the 14th five-year plan, China has put into operation more than 270 million kilowatt of installed capacity of all types of power sources and increased power transmission capacity to the central and eastern regions by more than 20 million kilowatts. Fourth, we will promote high-quality development of the oil and gas industry. We will coordinate the development of production, supply, storage, and marketing systems, advance oil and gas exploration and development, and improve the oil and gas import system. At present, China has increased crude oil production for 3 years and natural gas production for 5 years by more than 10 billion cubic meters. The reserve capacity has been steadily enhanced, and this has boosted confidence in stable market supply. Fifth, we will vigorously develop clean energy. We will steadily push forward the construction of large-scale wind and photovoltaic power bases, prioritizing deserts and Gobi Desert areas, and offshore wind power bases. We will accelerate the building of large hydropower stations in southwest China, like Wudongde and Baihetan hydropower stations that have been put into use. We will develop coastal nuclear power plants in active, yet safe and orderly manner. More efforts will be made to develop pumped storage power stations and build new types of energy storage power stations to improve the system's adaptation capacity. Now, the northern part of China is entering the winter heating period. We're working with relevant departments to make full preparations, take various measures to further enhance energy supply, to ensure that the people enjoy warmth in winter, thus implementing the spirit of the 20th National Congress with concrete actions.
好，我们东区这边还有不少记者举手，我们东区点一个吧。这边是第4排，右起第1位这位男记者。
谢谢主持人。中新社中新网记者提问。
Thank you. With China News Agency, the complex international environment and the protracted COVID pandemic have taken a toll on production and trade worldwide. With the global industry and supply chains shifting fast, some sectors in China find it difficult to keep their industrial and supply chains running smoothly. What steps will be taken to ensure the security and stability of our industrial and supply chains? Thank you for your question. You raised a very important question. In the face of complex and grim domestic and international situation, under the strong leadership of the CPC Central Committee with Comrade Xi Jinping at its core, the various localities and departments have been earnestly implementing the decisions of the CPC Central Committee and the State Council unclogging the blockages, bolstering the industrial sector, and ensuring that the economy runs smoothly, especially those key industrial and supply chains. To make our industrial and supply chains more resilient and secure, we are working on 5 priorities. First, we will enhance our strong suits and fix the shortfalls. On the one hand, based on our strength in industrial scale and supporting facilities, and first starter advantages in certain sectors, we are accelerating the implementation of the 5-year action plan for raising the core competitiveness of the manufacturing industry, and we are cultivating a host of strong industries in the process of upgrading traditional industries and cultivating emerging industries to elevate the competitive edge throughout the industrial chain in key areas. On the other hand, we will focus on areas crucial for our country and people concerning strategic security and concentrate on weak links. Based on relevant incentive mechanisms, we will work on breakthroughs in weaker areas and cultivate a more favorable environment to win the critical battle over core technologies. We are also implementing the project to remake the industrial base and seek breakthroughs in our weak links in key and fundamental areas. Second, we need to stabilize the industrial production. We need to strictly implement the 5 no requirements in COVID response, prevent arbitrary shutdown of enterprises crucial for the industrial chain and for people's basic needs. We'll firmly avoid taking a simplistic and one-size-fits-all approach to COVID response with excessive restrictions to ensure orderly operation of industrial parks and normal and stable production and operation of enterprises. We'll also keep the logistics smooth and ensure sound and safe supply of energy and the raw materials. And my colleague has also covered the relevant elements. And with these efforts, we will see that key industrial and supply chains will run smoothly. Third, we will improve the industrial outlay. We will take a coordinated approach across the country to improve the layout of industrial and supply chains and make them more efficient. We will strengthen overall coordination of major productivity, step up planning and policy guidance, avoid blind investment and redundant construction. We will thoroughly implement the national project to develop clusters of strategic emerging industries and build tiered development system for industrial clusters. And will cultivate a host of growth engines for strategic emerging industries with unique features, complementarity, and reasonable structures. Fourth, we'll deepen opening up and cooperation. This is something we have always stressed. We will promote the smooth operation of the industrial and supply chains of foreign trade and support the development of cross-border e-commerce and overseas warehouses. Will raise the quality of foreign investment, encourage more investment in high-end manufacturing and high technology, and support the innovative development of foreign-funded R&D centers. We will promote pragmatic international cooperation and high-quality Belt and Road cooperation, advance high-quality implementation of RCEP, make good use of various multilateral mechanisms, and build a mutually beneficial international cooperation system for industrial and supply chains. We'll continue to foster a market-oriented, law-based, and world-class business environment and unleash greater market vitality and social creativity. Fifth, we will strengthen risk prevention. We will work to ensure that the policies for stabilizing growth will deliver results. And we will do more to ease the difficulties facing the MSMEs and enable our policies to bear fruits. We will strengthen production, supply, storage, and marketing systems, including food and energy systems. And for those important industrial and supply chains, we would also help establish relevant systems. We would also enhance market oversight and ensure stable supply and prices of commodities and raw materials. We will improve the risk monitoring system for industrial and supply chains, enhance the ability to promptly identify and detect risks and address them accurately and effectively. We will strengthen accountability of all parties, ensure early detection, reporting, assessment and handling of risks, and earnestly maintain safe and stable operation of important industrial chains and supply chains. Thank you.
请继续举手提问。记者会已经进行了80多分钟，时间关系，我们最后一个问题。第3位女记者。对。
好，谢谢主持人，我是中国教育。
Thank you. With China Education TV, how to ensure that the energy system is based on the basic national conditions and energy resource endowment, and that it promotes green and low-carbon energy development and contributes to the realization of the carbon peaking and carbon neutrality targets as scheduled. I'm very delighted to answer the last question. Realizing carbon peaking and carbon neutrality as scheduled is a major strategic decision made by the CPC Central Committee with Comrade Xi Jinping at its core. Your question is very important. So is this what others ask us to do? A clear answer has been given by the CPC Central Committee. These two targets bear on the sustainable development of the Chinese nation and the building of a community with a shared future for mankind. So this is not what we are asked to do, but what we are doing on our own initiative. Energy development should not only ensure security, but also promote transformation. Under the guidance of the new development philosophy, China's green and low-carbon energy transformation has been accelerated, and the quality and efficiency of development has been significantly enhanced. With an average annual growth rate of 3% in energy consumption over the past decade, China has registered an average annual economic growth rate of 6.6%, and the energy intensity has been reduced by 26.4%. China has explored a high-quality development path that gives priority to ecology and is green and low-carbon, and we are growingly confident in this path. We mainly focus on the following three aspects. First, non-fossil energy has maintained the momentum of rapid development. The installed capacity of renewable energy has exceeded 1.1 billion kilowatts, nearly 3 times that of a decade ago, accounting for over 30% of the world's total. China now ranks number 1 in the world in terms of installed capacity of hydropower, wind power, photovoltaic and biomass power, and in terms of nuclear power under construction. In 2021, the proportion of non-fossil energy consumption reached 16.6%, up by 6.9 percentage points from 2012, accounting for nearly a quarter of the world's total. Second, the clean and efficient use of fossil fuel has scored notable progress. the share of coal consumption dropped to 56%, 12.5 percentage points lower than that of 2012, and an average annual decline of 1.4 percentage points in the past decade. It marked the fastest decline in history. We have carried out upgrading projects of coal-fired power generation to achieve ultra-low emissions and energy conservation, and more than 90% of coal-fired power units' emissions are comparable to that of natural gas power generations. We have improved the quality of refined oil products. All vehicle, gasoline and diesel have been upgraded to level 6 of the national standard, among the top level in the world. Third, scientific and technological innovation serves as a stronger driving force. A number of world-leading strategic projects have been put into operation, including the Baihetan hydropower project and the Hualong 1 nuclear power project. We have established a complete industrial chain of clean energy equipment manufacturing, such as hydro, nuclear, wind, and solar power, and built the world's largest electric vehicle charging and hydrogen refueling network. Going forward, according to the requirements of the 20th National Congress of CPC, based on our energy and resource endowment, we will follow the principle of building a new system before breaking the old one, advance energy revolution, accelerate the planning and development of a new type of energy system, and unswervingly promote green and low-carbon energy development. So, to be brief, we will vigorously develop non-fossil energy, promote high-quality development of energy, and we will promote the application of CCUS technology, and we plan to upgrade 600 million kilowatts of generation capacity during the 14th five-year plan. And we will promote the high-quality development of wind and solar power generation, advance the construction of major hydropower and nuclear power projects, and develop other renewable energy such as biomass and geothermal energy in light of local conditions. We will actively build a new type of power system and adapt the power grid to the development of large-scale, centralized, new energy sources and distributed energy sources in large quantities and areas. We will promote the transformation and upgrading of end-use energy, strengthen energy conservation and carbon reduction in key areas of energy use, and actively promote substitution with electricity. We aim to increase the share of electricity in end-use energy to around 30% by 2025. On the basis of running our own affairs well, we will implement the Global Development Initiative and actively participate in global governance, including climate change response, and build a clean energy partnership to contribute to the building of a community with a shared future for mankind. On that note, we conclude today's press conference. Thank you.